There's a wiring connector hidden under the floor of this SUV that has already cost previous RAV4 owners up to $7,000 to fix. Toyota just redesigned it for 2026. Whether that redesign actually works is one of the biggest questions surrounding this car right now, and almost nobody talking about this SUV online is mentioning it. That's where we're starting, because it tells you something important about this vehicle underneath the aggressive styling and the Gazoo Racing badges. This is a genuinely complicated machine, and complicated machines come with trade-offs. The RAV4 has been America's best-selling SUV for years, and for 2026, Toyota did something it's never done before with this nameplate. It killed off the plain gasoline engine entirely. Every RAV4 now is a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. Sitting at the very top of that lineup is the GRsport, the first RAV4 ever built with input from Gazoo Racing, Toyota's motorsport division. This isn't a trim built for people who just want a practical crossover. It's built for commuters who also want a genuinely engaging drive on the weekend, tech-focused families who want the latest infotainment, and buyers who plan to keep a vehicle long enough to care about resale value. If you just want basic, reliable transportation, this probably isn't your trim, and we'll get to why later. The GRsport sits 15 mm lower than a standard RAV4, and Toyota didn't stop at looks. Stiffer springs, firmer dampers, a front performance chassis brace, and reinforced rear crossmembers are all part of the package. That lower stance genuinely changes how the car behaves in corners, but it also drops ground clearance to 7.5 inches, which matters if you were hoping to take this thing off-road. Inside, one small change makes a bigger difference than you'd expect. Toyota dropped the dashboard height by 40 mm. Owners consistently mention how much more open the cabin feels and how much easier it is to see the road ahead, something the outgoing generation was criticized for. Cargo space lands between 655 and 672 liters, which is competitive for the segment. But here's where things get interesting. Despite all this technology, Toyota left out some very basic conveniences. There are no bag hooks in the trunk and no remote seat release handles back there either. It's a strange omission on a vehicle this expensive. The biggest leap for 2026 is the replacement of Toyota's old, widely criticized infotainment system with a new 12.9-inch touchscreen running Toyota's new Arene software. Reviewers agree this is a massive upgrade, sharp graphics, fast responses, and a completely different experience than before. But owners have been living with it for months now, and the story isn't all positive. Driver profiles frequently fail to load correctly, forcing people to manually reset their seat and mirror positions. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto occasionally drop mid-drive, and the steering wheel touchpad controls are sensitive enough that a stray thumb can change your entire gauge cluster layout without you meaning to. Then there's the map light problem. It sounds minor until you hear how often it happens. The buttons are flush and offer no tactile feedback, and multiple owners report reaching for them in the dark and accidentally hitting the emergency SOS button instead. On the plus side, the front USB-C ports now deliver 45 watts, enough to fast charge a laptop, not just a phone, and there's a genuinely clever integrated dashcam system that uses the car's existing safety cameras to record and automatically save footage after a collision. In the city, this thing operates almost entirely as an EV. With a 22.7 kWh battery good for roughly 48 to 50 miles of electric range, most daily commutes never touch the gas engine at all. It's quiet, smooth, and the instant torque from the front motor makes merging and lane changes effortless. Push it on a winding road, though, and the Gazoo Racing changes actually show up. Body roll is noticeably reduced, the wider track and performance tires provide real grip, and the steering, recalibrated specifically for this trim, communicates far more than the light, numb setup in standard RAV4 models. But here's where reviewers start to disagree. Some outlets call the firm suspension rewarding and fun. Others say it's simply too stiff for a family crossover, transmitting road texture and expansion joints straight into the cabin. And when you really put your foot down, the engine doesn't behave the way you'd expect from a car with paddle shifters. It just pins itself at 6,000 RPM and stays there, producing a droning noise that clashes with the car's sporty image. The paddles don't simulate gear changes under acceleration at all, they're really only useful for adjusting regenerative braking on the way into a corner. This is where the research gets genuinely important, because the picture is mixed in a very specific way. The core mechanicals are excellent. The naturally aspirated 2.5-liter engine avoids turbocharger stress entirely, and Toyota's planetary gear eCVT has no clutches or belts to wear out. Mechanics describe it as capable of easily passing 250,000 miles with basic maintenance. But two specific components come up again and again in mechanic interviews and owner reports. The first is cablegate, the nickname for corrosion in the high-voltage cable connector that runs along the underbody to the rear motor. Earlier RAV4 generations suffered isolation faults from this that cost $5,000 to $7,000 to fix. Toyota redesigned the connector for 2026 with better drainage, but mechanics in saltbelt states remain cautious and recommend owners apply a rust inhibitor to that connector every year before winter. The second is the coolant bypass valve, a brittle plastic component that can crack or stick over time. If it fails and the coolant leaks out completely, there's no lymphome mode to protect the engine. A full coolant loss can destroy it. Toyota has a service program covering this for up to 10 years or 100,000 miles, but out of warranty, repairs run $700 to $1,300. There are also 4 active safety recalls worth knowing about: an EPS steering assist defect, a steering column pin issue that could affect airbag performance in a crash, cracked front suspension control arms in certain production runs, and a seat belt webbing defect. None of these are universal, but they're documented and worth checking against your specific VIN. Pull back far enough and a pattern emerges. Owners who bought this car for the powertrain are thrilled. The acceleration, the EV range, the fuel economy after the battery depletes, all of it consistently earns praise. What frustrates them is smaller and more annoying than dangerous software quirks, oversensitive warning chimes, and a suspension that's fine tiring on rough pavement day after day. Most owners say they'd buy it again. The recurring advice to first-time buyers is almost universal, though budget for a rust inhibitor treatment if you live somewhere it snows, and don't expect a plush ride. Against the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, the RAV4 simply has more power, 76 horsepower more, in fact, though the Outlander counters with a third row and more sophisticated terrain-focused all-wheel drive. The Hyundai Tucson PHEV offers a traditional 6-speed automatic instead of an eCVT, which some drivers prefer, but its EV range tops out around 32 miles, well short of the RAV4's. The Mazda CX-70 PHEV brings a more premium cabin and rear BSD handling, but skips DC fast charging entirely. If reliability is your top priority, the research points toward the standard RAV4 Hybrid LAR XLE, mechanically simpler, without the complex high-voltage PHEV system or sport suspension. The GRsport, being both a first-year redesign and the most electronically complex trim in the lineup, carries more first-year risk. For buyers set on the GRsport specifically, the recommendation is to option all-season tires if you live somewhere cold, and to proactively treat that rear high-voltage connector before your first winter. An extended warranty is also worth serious consideration if you plan to keep the vehicle past the standard 36-month coverage window, given how expensive the electronic modules are to replace out of pocket. The 2026 RAV4 GRsport is a genuinely capable, quick, and efficient plug-in hybrid wrapped in the most engaging chassis Toyota has ever put on a RAV4. It rewards commuters with real electric range and rewards enthusiasts with real handling. But it asks something in return: tolerance for first-year software bugs, a firmer ride than a typical family crossover, and some ongoing vigilance about known failure points like the coolant valve and the high-voltage cable. If that trade-off sounds reasonable to you, the research suggests this is one of the more compelling vehicles in its class. If you'd rather have a car that simply disappears into the background of your life, A standard RAV4 hybrid will likely serve you better, for a lot less money.